Welcome back to our second session, and we're going to look at a few other statistical formats that we have. So we've added numbers, we've changed these to static numbers, and now we want to add a few things. So before I do that, I want to show you a few things here. So I've put in total, average, maximum, minimum, and median. If I've got things like that, you can see my numbers always align right, my text always align left. Now instead of adding a column between those, I can also move this, and I just need to move my move this screen a little bit so that you will be able to see that now. So if I go on my home button and okay, before I do that, let's select these cells. Okay, and on my home button, if I click this button here, the increase button, you will see that it made an increase, and I can of course increase it more, or I can increase it less. There's nothing, there's one space, and that just gives me a nice way to show my work here. Okay, so what we want to do is to get the average, which is actually a mean, and I want to find out the mean. So what I can do, because we know that to work out the mean, we add all the numbers. So my numbers from 1 through 30, 42, 36, and so on, up to number 34. If I add all of those up, I got 1,208. And if I would take, and I would say, take this 1,208 and divide it by 30, I would get 40.266, and so on. Now, if I add more numbers or delete some numbers, then I'll have to redo this calculation. So what is nice about using a formula like this will be to eliminate that. So if I put in average, and I would put an open bracket, I select the section that I want. I made a mistake there, there was a double click there, so I just wanted, let me redo that. It's from A1 up to A30. Close the bracket, and there is it. And you can see exactly the same. There's my formula, exactly the same format. But look what happens now. If I take, for example, that 14 out, then there's only 39, 29 numbers. So automatically my my average changed, but this did not change, except that because my total was a little bit less, but it's still dividing by 30 and not 29, and now my answer is different. If I would have divided by 29, my answer would be the same. Okay, so no need to do that, and let's put that, I think it was 14, back over there, and there it is. Okay, now I want to go and find what is the highest number in this column from 1 to 30. And if it's just simple numbers like these, it's probably not so hard to find it, but if I've got thousands of numbers, it might be a little bit harder to find the highest number, and I can easily overlook one. Formula for maximum equals max, open bracket, the selection from A1 up to A30. And you can see it up here. I close my bracket and I press enter, and there's my highest number. Here's 74. So if we go up here, 60, there's a 63. Is there a higher number? There's a 74 and 73. So 74 seems to be my highest number, and automatically it got that. Okay, if I want to find the smallest number, I would of course use minimum, and that will be equals min. Again, I want my formula from A1 up to A30, so over there, A1 up to A30, close the bracket and enter, and there's my smallest number, which is 12. If I want the median, now you would know that to find the median, I actually need to put all of these numbers in order. So if I do that, let me select it again. I need to put all of these in order, and let me just move this down that you can see where I'm working. And if you go to data, then sort this, I just want to continue with that small selection, and I put these in order. Then the median will be the middle number, so the number between 15 and 16. Now, since both of these are 36, the median will be 36. Okay, so I'm just going to undo it. My numbers are not in order anymore, but rather the way they were before. And if I scroll down now, and I put in a formula here where I want to find the median, so I would put in equal mark, median, and I put open bracket or parentheses if you want to, select the section that I want, meaning from A1 up to A30, close the bracket, enter, and you can see it also gave me 30. Of course, the mode is the number that appears most, so the number that appears most often, and again we need to go through and try to find out. So usually we would put them in order and then try to find out. So that can take a long time, especially if I work by hand. But here's an easy formula to do that. So equals mode, and I put in an open bracket, and again I say from A1 up to A30. Let me just change that. A1 up to A30. And you can see there's my mode for A1 up to A30, meaning the number that appears most often is 36, because 36 is appearing here. It is also appearing, where else? Let's see. We can quickly see which other numbers are there. 37. There's another 36. And it seems like it just appeared twice. But that was the number that appeared most often. So we got it there. Okay, so if I want to have the same here for the other columns, I would of course need to write all of that in each column. But again, with Excel, when I select this, I need to be inside the cell. When I select, look at where I'm going and pulling it down. So clicking, pulling down. And then go to this little square here until it makes a solid plus sign, and then I pull it across. And when I do that, you can see immediately I've got all my formulas there. I've got, for example, the mode on this one's 36, this one's 34, this one is 10, 74, and so on. My median, 36, 37, 47.5, 48, 46.5. So these probably did not have two numbers next to each other, and that's why they had to get the average of those two middle numbers, the 15th and 16th number. Now if I look at my mean or my averages, you can see for most of them they've got a lot of decimal places. So sometimes we don't want to show that many decimal places or a specific number of decimal places. So I select the section that I want to change. I right click inside some of those cells, format cells. I go on my number here, go to number, decimal places, only 1, and then OK. And then you can see it changed to 1 decimal place. But my computer will still remember this as if it was the real number. So without doing any changes, when I go, if I would do a calculation, it will not remember this as for 40.3, but as 40. I can't remember now, 222 something. Let's have a look. If I go back, format cells, and just going to general, there it was 40.26666, and it will remember that number. Okay, I'm not going to remember that, I'm just going to take it away there. Okay, so that was in short what we would do to get the mean, maximum, minimum, and the mode of different numbers. And I'm just going to pause here for a second before we continue.